Royal Fairy Tale Scandal Season 2, Chapter 1.
It's a sad day for Queen Camilla. Her dad passed away. All the royal family came to see Zach's deathbed. All of them were black since it's a funeral. And everyone was talking about his final hours, how he spent. King James agreed to do the funeral in St. George Chapel. Ella was comforting Queen Camilla. "We always by your side," said Ella. "Thanks, dear." Queen Camilla said to Ella. Lots of their relatives came to the funeral, such as Versace Hemsworth and Stephanie. After all of the members and relatives gave their respect to Zach coffin, then they all prayed for Zach to rest in peace in St. George Chapel. And they gave their very final goodbyes to Zach coffin. Then all the royal members and relatives went to Kensington Palace. Everyone was so happy to see their relatives after a long time. They all had a little chat in the family room. Stephanie was sitting by herself alone, so Ella came to give her some company. "Stephanie, so kind of you to come. How's your baby?" Ella asked. "She's very well, madam, thanks," Stephanie replied. "Ella, what are you doing here?" Brad asked. "Oh, I came to say hi to Stephanie, and she's doing great," Ella said. Brad kissed Ella, and Ella went to see others. "I bought you a palace just like you wanted," Brad said to Stephanie. Emma heard everything they were talking about. She started jealousing Stephanie. Camilla and Stephanie had a little chat on the garden. "So you don't like my penthouse?" Camilla asked. "No, I love it, but it's not my style," Stephanie said. "Oh really? Not your style? You know we only care about you because you're raising my granddaughter," Camilla told. Meanwhile, Ella felt something different in her tummy. So she called to Doctor be enlightened. Doctors said to get rest immediately. So she went to her personal bed chamber to take a little nap. After some time, Camilla and Stephanie came to see Ella. Camilla bought Ella dinner. "You missed dinner, dear, so I thought take you dinner to your room," Camilla said. Stephanie and Brad was talking about Ella's pregnancy. He wanted to make sure she's okay. Then Brad took Stephanie to his bed chamber to have a private discussion with Stephanie. "So I bought you a palace, you can stay there from now," Brad said. "Thanks, my love," Stephanie said to Brad with a kiss. The next day, Brad took Stephanie and their baby girl Branda to the new palace. "This is your new home, do you like it?" Brad said to his baby. "It's a massive palace with 15 bedrooms and more than 20 bathrooms. It also has a nightclub and helicopter. Your mommy said she didn't like your previous penthouse. She said I should raise you like a princess, so I bought a palace under your name," Brad said to his baby girl Branda. Then Brad and baby Branda had little fun in the family room. Then the new nanny and private chef came to the palace. "Brad, I have to thank you for all of this. Come, I have a gift for you," Stephanie said. "What's that?" Brad asked. "Let's go to my bedroom," Stephanie said. "I shouldn't be doing this," Brad said. "Come on, my king. Do me in my brand new bed," Stephanie said to Brad. After they made love, they came downstairs to meet their new staff. All the staff agreed to sing Brad's agreement to keep his secret affair, and Stephanie was so bad to her nanny. Nanny was thinking how Stephanie made her fortunate by seducing a crown prince. Nanny was disgusted by Stephanie's cruel works. Nanny took the baby to her bedroom to have a nice time with the baby. Then Stephanie came to see Nanny. Stephanie scolded Nanny. "Is this a joke to you? Don't you take her to your room? She's a princess. Don't take her to any room used by servants," Stephanie yelled. "Sorry, madam. I came to sit down. It won't happen again," Nanny said. "And don't call me madam, call me your ladyship. Do you understand?" Stephanie scolded. After that argument, Stephanie's private chef made them lunch. Brad was eating in the dining room. Then Stephanie came in. "You having lunch without me?" Stephanie yelled. Stephanie was so mean to everyone. Brad went to his London palace, Buckingham. Emma asked about Stephanie. Brad told her she bought a palace for Stephanie. Then Emma told Brad's royal butler to say, "Ella, she have something important to tell." "Prince Brad's assistant, Emma, waiting at the ballroom for you, your royal highness," Brad's butler said. "Emma, what's going on? It's something very important," Ella asked. "Yes, madam, I have a very important thing to tell you, but promise me you won't mention my name," Emma said. Emma told the whole story to Princess Ella, that Brad got his maid Stephanie pregnant, and now she's living in a private palace. "What?" Ella said with furious, and Ella quickly ran to see Brad in the family room. Ella told everything that she heard without mentioning Emma's name. Brad went clueless after hearing this. "Baby, please, I can explain everything. I was drunk." Brad tried to lie, Shut up, Brad, it's over. You've ruined my life, you chitter. Ella screamed with anger. Brad tried to lie. She was annoyed by him, so she went to nursery room to cry it out. She didn't know what to do. Then she fell asleep. Then after she woke up, she quickly went to her bedroom chamber to think what to do. She remembered Versace Hemsworth. So Ella called Versace Hemsworth that she's coming to stay there for some times. Ella went to Versace Hemsworth's palace, and Ella drove Brad's favorite car. Oh, my dear, you drove alone? And it's a Maserati supercar not suitable for a pregnant lady, Versace Hemsworth said. I know, I fetched the nearest car to get out of that house, Ella said. What happened, dear? You look so tired. Go sit on the family room, I'll come, Versace Hemsworth said. Ella was a little confused. She haven't been here. Then she managed to find the family room. Mrs. Hemsworth, is this your new home? Ella asked. This is one of my 14 properties. Anyway, tell me what happened, Mrs. Hemsworth asked. Ella told the whole story while she's crying. I'm so sorry for you, dear. You can stay here as long as you like, Mrs. Hemsworth said. Then after some times, they all went to dining room to have their dinner. At the dinner table, Mr. Danny Hemsworth also joined. You know, Ella, you shouldn't worry about this. You should worry about your baby. And don't divorce him. It's bad for the royal family and your baby, Mrs. Hemsworth said. Then Mrs. Hemsworth went to call her granddaughter Diana to come tomorrow to see Ella. Diana came back to London since she joined to the parliament. I called Diana. She will come tomorrow to see you. Now you may take a rest. Don't worry about anything. We're here to help you, Mrs. Hemsworth said. Then Mrs. Hemsworth went to her bedroom to get sleep, but her husband, Danny Hemsworth, scolded her. You should call Queen Camilla. Tell all of this nonsense. We don't want to get any trouble, Danny said. Okay, I will. You don't have to worry about your dignity. You should remember you did similar things to me, Mrs. Hemsworth yelled. Yes, I've been the first unfaithful husband ever in this world. Just shut up, go to sleep, Danny scolded to Mrs. Hemsworth. Mrs. Hemsworth was thinking herself that she didn't divorce her husband because of they not strong enough to face a scandal. Then she went to sleep. In the morning, Ella didn't show up in the breakfast table, so Mrs. Hemsworth thought to take breakfast to her room. You should eat, dear. You see, me and my husband was in love when we first met. Then he cheated on me with lots of women's. I forgave him for his mistakes, and we've been together ever since. Then they went to Paul, and after Diana and Diana's mother came to see Princess Ella. Ella met Diana and Diana's mother. Then Queen Camilla came to Mrs. Hemsworth mansion to take Ella to Kensington Palace. I want to meet Ella, Queen Camilla said to Diana. Diana replied she's here. Then Ella came to see Camilla. Camilla managed to get Ella calmed. Then Camilla took Ella to the Kensington Palace. Queen Camilla thanked Diana. You've been so polite and respectful, Diana. I appreciate your help after all the bad things I've done to you and your parents. Then in the Kensington Palace, Brad was sitting on the foyer-round couch. Camilla scolded Brad. Look what you caused to this family. She was staying at the Mrs. Versace Hemsworth's home. Now, they also know this scandal, Camilla said. And what is Stefani doing here? Camilla asked. Brad replied. Well, now that she knows the whole story somehow, we all have to face each other. Ella, can we talk about this? Brad asked. Ella replied. What's theirs to talk about? I want a divorce. I'm done. You should not be doing this. What about our baby? You can't take the baby. He the next line in throne, Brad yelled. Then I want to separate with you. You can have a marvelous life with your mistresses, and I don't want to be involved, Ella yelled. Look at her, she's beautiful, and I don't want to be a bad stepmother to Branda, Ella said. You will not divorce or separate anyway. One day you expecting to be queen, King James yelled at Ella. Ella replied, I don't think I'll be queen ever. Then Brad and James was arguing each other. Then Ella screamed, Stop. Stop, Brad, I think I'm going to labor, Ella said with pain. Brad took Ella to her bedroom by holding her. Then Brad called royal doctor immediately. Doctor, I think it's time my wife go and give birth, Brad said to the doctor. Then after some times Ella gave birth to baby boy. Queen Camilla named him Gordon. Ella was perfect during the delivery. Brad held his little prince. Then Brad showed Branda her baby brother. King was so happy to see his grandson. Then Ella fed her baby with love. After 2 days, Ella decided to talk with her husband. She said, I'll forgive you if I get Stephanie's daughter Branda to our custody. Brad said, Stephanie will never agree to this. Ella replied, I will try. She seduced my husband and she have to pay the price.